Ever think of reviewing all the hot peppers there are? You guys should do an episode where you test different condiments, spices, herbs, etc. Nice videos, enjoy your videos. Best part of waking up is Junt slinging Mac. Best YouTube channel. I'm from Sweden. We don't have BoxMac and I love the show.
Mac and cheese.
Kraft Deluxe.
Yes, Velveeta?
Well, we got a little web series down there. People really love it, but it's not all that popular still.
I thought it was a hit on Reddit.
Well, that was kind of one and done, Kraft.
Well, maybe they shouldn't be so concerned with hits and popularity. What they need is to rediscover what makes them friends in the first place. Should we send down Homestyle?
Homestyle Mac. He's awful.
Yes, but he brings families together. Send him in.
Ah, my delicious Mac cookies. Wonderful. Oh, Mama, 4XL? America's getting huge.
Ah, boy. There's so much Christmas work this year, I can hardly keep up.
Oh, it doesn't look that bad.
Not that bad.
Oh, my bee.
New episodes of BoxMac and Junt's Cart, fan contests, holiday special, shirt orders, and we're having friends over to host later in the week. I don't know if there's gonna be any time for Christmas presents, John.
Well, at least we have a Facebook presence.
Come on, John. Let's address the elephant in the room.
Hey, watch it.
I mean, are we gonna do Christmas gifts this year? Oh, I get it. You've already got me my gift, haven't you?
Huh? I don't know what you're talking about.
Always playing it close to the chest. You're on, John Hunt.
Oh, noodle. What am I gonna do? Now Frankie thinks I'm gonna get in this big Christmas surprise. Oh, these Crisp Mac cookies are giving me the vapors.
You might barely know me, and I only kinda know you. You were dumped by your only girlfriend, and you don't know what to do. I'll be your friend, but I'm awful busy. I've got a job and a wife and a life. It's okay that you're on the spectrum, but my time is just a little tight. Hey! BoxMac, BoxMac, your parents cut you off. BoxMac, BoxMac, you were fired from Stop and Shop. Look, I'm sorry, I can't always respond right away. I can't always just text you back. But one thing, baby, you will always know is which is the better BoxMac, BoxMac. I still don't know what I'm gonna get John for Christmas. What if my little friend Gray might know what I should get him? Hello, is this Gray?
Yeah.
What should I get John for Christmas this year?
A mac and cheese.
So that's kind of, you know, he has mac and cheese all year, and he has a lot of boxes in his kitchen, so I'm really trying to think of something more special than mac and cheese.
Yeah, what about you buy him a folk piano?
So get him like a fart piano?
Yeah. What about you buy him a one-wheel bike and he can be eating mac and cheese while riding it?
Okay, well you have yourself a Merry Christmas.
Okay.
Fart piano, little bike with which he can eat mac and cheese on. Good ideas. I've got a better idea. The BoxMac Holiday Special will return after this.
Remember when you were a kid and I would read you that story about the little boy with the magic carpet, the one that would go anywhere in the world that it wanted to, right? That guitar is the exact opposite of a magic carpet.
Life was good.
So what are you up to?
You know, I'm here, it pays the bills, playing a lot of music, which is cool, so it's all good.
All right, so we just gotta nail down a date that works for everybody.
Fridays suck. I don't have a set schedule for my new job yet.
So we just gonna rehearse over the phone?
So when do I get
You get to hear the first thing I write that doesn't totally suck.
You're Mark Kessel.
I mean, I don't usually like to publicly admit it, but yeah. I know you.
No, I just like your music.
Do you have any idea how f***ed up it would be for me to come drink with you right now?
You have no idea what it's like to be away from everything for weeks. It's not like you could go to Betty Ford when you have no money.
Do you know who Giles Corey is? He was this dude who they accused of being a witch. What they did was they put a board over him and started adding rocks, and so they would crush him until he confessed. They give him one last chance to say, okay, I'm a witch, it's fine. Guess what he does? He just yells out at the top of his lungs, more weight! And then he dies. That's pretty f***ing up.
Yeah.
Here's the name tag, Mark. I'm gonna need you to find and wear that name tag.
You do think that there's like this second level that you can get to, but then you get there and...
I probably would have rolled over like a good little boy, played Stevie Miller cover bands and a f***ing accordion instead of doing what I do now. It could not be any more humiliating.
Your break was over 5 minutes ago. You're speaking kind of loudly in
Who
here.
else is on the bill? What trash can did you find this at the bottom of? Is this just how it is now?
What do you mean?
This is shit that I did before I had any idea what I was doing. That I thought was long dead, but here it is on some guy's website.
I need a job, Mark. I'm a guitarist. I want to play my guitar.
So play your guitar. Nothing says that it has to feed you.
Do you know what art is? It's a thing that people do for joy.
More weight!
And most people do it after they've done the work that keeps them clothed and fed.
What are you guys talking about? Things people say when you get off the stage because they're too nice to say that you sucked.
You guys look like you were really having fun up there.
Robots do not rock. We now return to the BoxMac Holiday Special on Red Cow Entertainment.
My grandfather loved this store, and I can understand why. It's got everything a man needs. It's got a whole fishing section. So we're here at Benny's. It's been around for a long time. It's one of the only stores that survived the Walmart thing. It's exactly the same as it's always been. Every Benny's has a permanent tire sale sign, so there's always a tire sale at Benny's. We're going to see if we can find an appropriate gift for Frankie, some stuff for me. They've consolidated all the deals into one area. Look, this is a cute sign they've got. It's an indoor tent sale, which is my kind of tent sale. Benny's is the only place I know of that you can still buy a washboard. This is a legitimate washboard that's like meant for actual use. Hey Nina, do you think Frankie would like a washboard?
Yes, or this branded Benny's t-shirt.
I think that's a great t-shirt. Some nice toys here.
Trying to figure out what kind of toy this actually is. Simply dropping, use a bit of force downward for added bounce.
I think I'm gonna go with this one because it says fall over.
That's pretty awesome, and it's reasonably priced too. $7. Look at this beautiful selection of bikes. It's another thing that Benny's is kind of famous for.
These look kind of Frankie compatible.
They're a little of medium quality. Would he go for it? No, I don't think so. I don't think that's him. I'm wearing slippers right now. I wear slippers in most places that aren't important. This is one of the only places where you have an array of vacuum supplies. Like belts for people who don't just throw out their vacuum when the belt breaks. I like that they've gone through the effort of decorating behind the vacuum. This unusual slanted aisle arrangement they have. I mean, you can see all of the aisles from the entrance. Very nice.
I'm digging the paper towels next to the toasters.
Some surprisingly good values. Medicated foot powder for $1.
Vaseline, $1.
It's always been that way, and they're not that big a store, and they're competing with those kind of prices. It's very good. It's a combination back scratcher shoehorn. That's kind of creative. If Frankie was me, I think he would really enjoy this. But since he's not,
Frankie himself would.
I think it'll hold together pretty well. But yeah, it could be a little stronger. But it does collapse very easily and nicely, doesn't it?
It does.
We've only barely touched
That's true. We've
the
only
store. We're gonna have to
scratched
skip
the surface.
through lots of sections. The house care section. You can still buy borax if you need some borax. A lot of old products you can't really find anymore.
Do you think Frankie would like a model of the USS Missouri?
Does he have to build it?
I believe so.
Then he definitely wouldn't. This is the fabric softener that I use, but this is a different scent. I use the yellow bottle. Let me sample the purple bottle. No, it's no good anymore.
That's not the same thing.
Mouse traps, yep. Everything. They have so much stuff here, so much more inventory than you're used to in a store this size. Because you can see the edges of the store. It's not that big. But so many products just crammed right next to each other.
They don't have a good food.
No, they're not really. This isn't really a food kind of store.
But
Just
they
some
always have a lot of
candies and
candy
snacks.
bars.
This is actually one of the best deals here, and they always have them. 6 scrubby sponges for $1. You should change your kitchen sponges pretty often.
Yeah.
Kitchen cabinet cream.
Yeah, I thought you weren't supposed to do that anymore, like use a lot of furniture polish, and I thought it left like a waxy buildup. Then you eventually have to refinish it. And
it's still available here in case you want to. A 12-pack of carpet treads for your stairs.
How do I lay it down though?
That's left to the consumer to figure out. My budget's a little strained. I don't want to spend a lot of money, so we'll see. A bellows that's not, it's not for play use. It's like...
No, it's for real. Oh, nice.
Other than Amazon, where would you buy a bellows? $15 for a bellows. A fire grate?
Manly men's section.
My grandfather loved this store, and I can understand why. It's got everything a man needs. It's got a whole fishing section. There are some things I can only get here, like light bulbs for my vacuum cleaner. They only carry them here. It's an older vacuum, so thus, because Benny's, you can find the accessory to go with your older thing. I just bought some of these at Ocean State Job Lot the other day, but these are a little cuter. $4. Not for me. Look at this cute little tree. $2.49. What do you think of these things, Nina? Is this a little much?
This is a little much.
Paint grid. This is a really useful item. This allows you to not get too much paint on your roller, so you can roll off on the grid.
Oh, that's great.
Look at this. Misc signs. Do you need a sign? Look at this fishing rod selection. And not only that, but all these fishing accessories. Hooks. It's such an eclectic mix.
The fishing section is next to the pet section.
I don't know if I could really describe what Benny sells, but this is it.
Things of the grandfather and the man. I have the least manly things you can purchase here.
Nah, it's a little pricey. It's about 20 cents more than you normally pay for this cat.
That's not cool. A sledgehammer section. What is this, too?
This is a stump.
Oh my god, a stump. If I need it.
Yeah, it's protected for your
safety.
So you don't kill people.
A leather punch for arts and crafts. A leather punch. Where would you find one? Misc Patriots gear. Very nice. Man cave. You're right. This store is for men. Where were those Necco wafers, Nina?
They were right there. They're the chocolate ones only, though.
Oh, I need the other ones.
But they're next to the Chunkies, which are also delicious. Here's the other ones.
Yes! Classic Necco wafers. My grandfather would buy them probably here, and I would eat them. Where did they get this candy? I really like these very plain lamps.
They're adorable.
Big sale on LED bulbs over here. Was $21.99, now $5.99. There's my vacuum cleaner light bulb right there. How about a 2C Circline bulb? 2C. A lot of variety. This one is super beefy.
I'm buying so much crap I didn't know I needed. I got
these cute little bags.
I got these cute little bags.
You got fuses. Anybody's house seriously use fuses? No? Everybody's on breakers now, but old houses still have fuses. I just bought some of these the other day for a project, and this is a good price. That's actually cheaper than Lowe's for this item by about 10 cents. And I went to Ace Hardware and paid $2.69 for these because I needed one urgently.
A tick key, the easiest way to remove ticks.
Oil filters. Basic selection. They're all the products you really shouldn't use on your car.
This one that's like stop the leak.
Oh, this is a nice selection of funnels.
It's got a little handle.
Yeah, you can hold on to it. Some of the tires they always have on sale. I actually bought a pair of tires here for my car and they were great. They lasted forever. And then I bought another pair that I didn't like nearly as much. I didn't get in here. They mount them on site. It's great. This is one thing I always buy here is windshield wipers. They have good prices on them and they're pretty good quality.
I think it says Frankie written all over it. Smoked mac and cheese.
The grilling accessories here, you can always grill if you need to at Benny's. Exit shot. I like these little quick sell table lamp, $5. Includes the bulb. Great deal.
I'm buying this Betty Crocker air popper.
Wow, now here's a thought. What if we got Frankie a hat for the Kraft keeper? Didn't he mention the Kraft keeper was really needing a hat? You know, I've already got some stuff in the cart. I wonder if they'd trade me some Macs for a hat. Do you think so, yeah? Check up front. See if they can trade me one. This is $3. This is $4.49, and this is $1. And I'm gonna work out a deal on the hat. I'm sure I can make it happen. I got the skills. It's a piggy that you put your phone against, and it leans your phone at an angle on a table for you. Oh, isn't that cute?
$42.
Can we get 5s and 1s for the change, please? I was able to work out the deal it cost me a lot of Macs, though.
We'll be eating a lot of rice.
Yeah, that's right. A lot of rice. A lot of rice with a little bit of salt. It'd be delicious.
The Star Wars Holiday Special will return. Do you want to know how a film crew of misfits have made 4 moderately successful feature films for no money? Want to know how they shot the 4th one in 9 days straight? Pick up Red Cow Entertainment's first book, More Weight, The Making of Having Fun Up There and Other Filmmaking Tales, by me, Frankie Frayne. Includes asides and appendices from other filmmakers and beautiful production stills. Contains funny anecdotes, do's and do nots, technical step-by-steps, screenwriting, producing, and cinematography tutorials, and film festival and distribution advice. Go to redcowentertainment.com/store. Read it. You'll like it. The BoxMac Holiday Special now returns. Brought to you by Benny's. I don't know what they sell, but this is it.
Mine first. They're Rapid Macs for your noodles.
Oh, Frankie, they're beautiful, but...
I know they're a little rich for our blood, but sacrifices need to be made for the perfect gift. Now let's see what's inside mine, huh?
What's wrong?
This is for the Kraft keeper, isn't it?
Well, of course it is. What else could you use a Santa Claus hat for?
I traded the Kraft keeper for the Rapid Macs.
Sounds like a shady deal.
Well, it's still a great gift. I'm sure I could donate it to skeleton puppets in need. Let's go try out those Rapid Macs, huh?
But Frankie, wait!
What happened to the Hall of Macs?
I'm cheap, Frankie. I couldn't justify keeping all the BoxMacs if I was going to buy you a Santa Claus hat for Christmas.
That doesn't make any sense, John.
Well, Frankie, why did you trade the Kraft keeper for Rapid Macs? I already have 2 Rapid Macs. How many Rapid Macs does a man need?
Huh. Wait.
Did you
trade your BoxMacs?
Trade your beautiful skeleton.
Just so that I could have a Christmas gift? Well, we still have to make mac. We have friends coming over any minute.
Well, I've got pasta and cheese sauce and breadcrumbs.
Breadcrumbs? Wait a minute, John, we said we would never. I mean, we hate.
But Frankie, it's Christmas. It's the perfect time of year for a home-style macaroni and cheese. Frankie, it's Christmas. We've got friends around. We've got the last macaroni and cheese I didn't trade for the Santa hat. We're gonna try that versus a recipe of my own design. See which is more delicious today on BoxMac. Kraft has a Homestyle, so this is actually from the Chicago box, another great find in the Chicago box. This is a brand in decline. Kraft is discontinued most of the brands. They still have 2 of them, but they're in limited supply. You can try my recipe, and it's probably gonna be better. I'm pretty sure.
Almost right off the bat for BoxMac, we said we like box macaroni and cheese.
Yeah.
We do not like you and your fancy...
That's right.
breadcrumby, baked, dried macaroni and cheese.
With prosciutto and tomatoes.
I do kind of reject the notion that oven-baked macaroni and cheese has to be dry. I think it's something you have to adapt for in your recipe. It's a change you have to make. So we have a lot of work to do, and it's great that I have all you guys to help.
We've invited Nina and Zach back into the kitchen.
These Cheetos are actually going to take the place of breadcrumbs in our...
I would like the Cheeto job.
You're going to like the Cheeto job? Okay. You're going to measure out 3 loosely cupped packs of Cheetos.
No fair. I want to crush up cheddar.
I called it.
That's going to be the topping.
You hated breadcrumbs that much.
Yes. Zach's going to shred our cheese. So we got a pound of pasta and 24 ounces of cheese. This is a traditional macaroni and cheese in which we make a roux and then bake a bechamel sauce. And a roux is you take a fat and a flour and you mix them together to make a paste. And then you add milk to it. That makes it the bechamel sauce. Take it off the heat and you add in your cheese. And then we're just going to put it together with the pasta and bake it. We're going to add a lot of milk to really make it so that when it's baking, not dry out so much. That's the key thing.
In the description, find the entire wild recipe.
The entire wild
recipe. Which we can't yet vouch for.
Maybe you don't want to try it. Maybe we'll see. Okay, so Zach has figured out the grater.
This job sounds great.
I've got a pound of Colby Jack cheese, 8 ounces of Cabot Extra Sharp. We get the Colby Jack for the nice smooth texture. And this is really what gives you the strong flavor. Frankie, you need a job too, don't you?
Ugh.
You get the fun task of measuring milk.
Yes!
Basically, it's gonna be this whole thing of milk except for a half cup.
Measure out a half cup and dump the rest in.
Dump in.
It's whole milk, I noticed.
That's right. How's things looking over here, Nina?
We're doing well. We're only 2 cups in. We got another cup.
For the topping, it's not just Cheetos, of course. We have Cheetos and melted butter. 3 tablespoons of melted butter.
Did anyone order me a plain cheese?
I'm probably gonna need a container to put all this cheese in.
Oh yeah, okay.
It's a lot of cheese once it's grated.
Holy crap.
Trying not to lose my fingertips.
2 teaspoons of salt, please.
Does anyone here actually cook for the holidays?
I've helped prep meals for holidays.
I tend to cook for myself and just bring my own meal. Does anyone here actually eat mac and cheese at Christmas?
I mean, I make it for my Christmas party, but I don't make one quite this complicated. This is a full-fledged classic style mac, except for the Cheetos. Bring that on to high heat, please, Frankie.
Pronto, Squanto.
My mom makes a lazy mac and cheese. The cheese jar, like the ragu sauce. She just dumps it on noodles.
I've had that before, and it's not my favorite.
Is this onion just here as a prop onion to imply that we're cooking?
Not at all. We're going to be using that onion. The people who I trust with chopping onions are both occupied with other tasks.
What the hell, man?
That's why you've been assigned to the liquids.
We are basically done. I
Okay,
think you
so
can pretty
Nina's
much.
good over here. I've never opened my spice drawer before, but it's quite an impressive sight. This is all.
Whoa.
We need some cayenne pepper today, and we also need some ground mustard.
Do you get these at Ocean State Job Lot?
I do, because they're $1.
They are $1,
and the
they're
spices
excellent.
are just as good as anything you're going to pay $7 for from McCormick.
Is there such a thing as having too many ingredients?
There is, but we're not there. Here, Nina, I'm going to give you a little tiny whisk, and you just want to coat those Cheetos with this butter.
A little bit of spillage.
A little bit of spillage.
Oh, no problem.
Frankie can take care of it. I got this cheese on sale for $2.50 for 8 ounces. It's normally about $3.49 for 8 ounces. That would be $10 worth of cheese for this dish.
This is fragrant cheese.
So I've never actually worked with that particular one before.
Stanky.
See how it's breaking apart? That's actually good. If you use just a mild cheddar like this, you're really not going to get much in the way of flavor at all.
I'd like to point out a new shirt design.
Yeah.
In the tradition of Christmas sweater. Designed by Sam Brinkmeyer, our friend. The white cows, I guess, on red background.
I really like that shirt.
With our website.
We have a 12-ounce can here of carnation evaporated milk.
Condensed will be sugary and sweet, and you don't want that in your mac.
Sugary and sweet. Evaporated is just water removed. We're not using any actual cream in this recipe, so we're adding some creaminess by using this evaporated milk. Excellent. Zach, I'd like you to mince this shallot, if you would. A shallot is kind of halfway between garlic and an onion. I've got a pound here of this is Pipette macaroni and cheese, lumicani, I think, in Italian, which means small snail. It's kind of like halfway between an elbow and a shell.
Kind of like a snail's shell.
Yes, exactly. That's the whole idea. It'll really hold the sauce in there. It's not a vegan-friendly dish, obviously.
Cheeto and the butter combination, I'm still a little skeptical.
Let's try just a little bit here.
Make sure that they're still Cheetos. Uh-oh.
It's delicious.
I'm gonna have a spoonful of Cheetos.
And butter.
I mean, how bad could it be? It's butter and Cheetos.
Like in taste?
Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah, it's great, isn't it? I mean, basically, we're taking a snack food, which is already really good, but doesn't have a lot of fat in it, and then adding fat to it. So how could it not appeal to us? This is the baking dish that we're going to use today for our macaroni and cheese. This is from Corning Ware. You could put it in a Pyrex dish too, which was my backup, but I think this looks nice. Very, very nice presentation. So Nina, you need a new task.
New task.
A nude task.
A nude task.
That would get us some hits.
We need 6 tablespoons of butter for this part, which brings our total for the recipe to 9 tablespoons. So we're going to cut the 6 tablespoons into small pieces so it'll melt rapidly. I don't have you do that, Nina.
Oh my goodness. The tears.
The tears are coming, Zach.
They're getting there.
One really important thing that's going on over here, Frankie, that you're working on.
Am I?
We got to cook these noodles a little bit undercooked because they're actually going to finish in the sauce in the oven. A little under al dente, just a tiny bit under. Did you really measure out 6 cups of water? Is this really 6 cups of water? More water. Use 8 cups of water. So many helpers makes the work go so quickly. You're just going to coat the inside lightly with cooking spray.
Okay.
And what this will do is this is really just to make it easier to clean up later because you can really get that baked on macaroni and cheese.
You don't want to be doing that Christmas morning.
Christmas morning, you're already pissed off for some reason.
Yeah, everybody's totally angry.
How's everyone doing on their Christmas shopping so far?
I haven't started.
I am done.
How many people do you buy gifts for, Nina?
I had the amazing experience this year of deciding with my family that we're not going to be exchanging gifts, which is lovely.
That's lovely.
Oh wow, it's very salty.
It's not that salty.
I just tried one, it's very salty. Imagine for a moment that you're gonna put that and that and that and that
Zach,
into this.
I want a third opinion. Is the noodle too salty?
It's saltier than, yeah, it's a little salty.
Well, maybe reduce that salt to 1 teaspoon.
Yeah. Cut it in half.
Yeah. Look, I'm trying this recipe from the cuff of my butt. Could you pass me that thing of flour, Frankie?
You want me to do something with the tall cabinet?
6 tablespoons of flour,
6
Zach.
tablespoons, sure.
We don't want to cool the pan down too much, but I have to dry it out. When you're making a roux, you can't have water in it or it'll actually react wrong. And it has cubed and quadded and done all the things with this butter. I actually use this tool for this all the time, even though it's probably not the perfect tool for it.
Would you prefer something like this to your box of Junt from the Halloween show?
Maybe. So I've put a teaspoon and a half of ground mustard powder in there. And now I'm gonna put a half teaspoon of cayenne powder. This is just gonna give it a little bit of spice. Slowly add in our flour here.
This is the most cooking showish of all of the episodes so far.
Where's the quips?
Nice roux.
We're thickening up a little bit, which is just what you want. Right now we got raw flour in there, which obviously doesn't taste very good. We need to let it cook for just a minute over this heat to actually let that flour actually cook.
It does have I have to admit, a holiday cooking scent.
All you have to do to make your house smell like you've been cooking all day is just saute an onion.
That's good advice, actually.
'Cause I need someone to slowly pour the milk in while I whisk.
Oh, okay, yeah, I can do that.
Okay, you can stop right there. Now we're transitioning from the roux to the bechamel sauce, right? See how it started off really thin, but as I've mixed it, it's now rapidly thickened up.
Can you make this in a Rapid Mac?
You cannot make this in a Rapid Mac.
Proof, finally, that John can cook real things.
You can see there's just a little bit of browning on that shallot. You'll have to stand there for just a second, and you can edit this out, you know.
I can?
You can if you want. I mean, you don't have to.
Up to this point, I hadn't been editing at all.
No, none?
It was really nice.
This is what makes it delicious.
I have no confidence in that Homestyle Mac. Do you think anyone could ever like pass that off as their Homestyle Mac, a la Principal Skinner in The Simpsons? Steamed hams?
Yes, and you call them steamed hams despite the fact they are obviously grilled.
We're not gonna cover this casserole dish because we actually want evaporation to occur. This is a lot of liquid for a pound of pasta. I'm a big fan of pepper. I like to use a lot. We have to actually melt the cheese in the liquid without any heat from the stove. If we use heat from the stove, the cheese is gonna separate, it's gonna get all oily, it's not gonna taste good.
How did you develop the recipe? Was it your own sensibilities? Was it based off of another recipe?
So there's some very simple and very classic French cooking concepts here, which is the roux and the bechamel. This sauce that I made here is actually the basis for lots of things. You could make a soup, a chowder, many different types of dishes start with this kind of idea, a fat plus wheat plus a milk. There's a lot more liquid in this macaroni and cheese, and of course the Cheeto topping, and also the use of the shallot. You don't usually use a shallot in macaroni and cheese. Just see those little bubbles coming up, and that means we're in pretty good shape. Put a handful in, and we're gonna just stir that in and watch it just disappear. Just add that right in.
Goodbye, cheese.
Next one, please.
That one's not shredded well enough. Move to the next one.
Because the heat will die away. But hold on a second there. This is more likely to separate, so I really want to make sure it's fully integrated. We're all going to sample the cheese sauce after this is, before we get it done here.
I can't wait, because this looks yummy.
I'm moving our pasta into our dish.
Oh, it's awesome. EJ, do you make mac and cheese at home, like ever do home style?
Oh yeah, I have a recipe pretty similar to this one.
Do you do the butter Cheetos?
And I'm going to have you pour about half of this in.
I'd like to express an opinion at this stage.
Yep.
That's how I want to eat it, right there.
And you could.
This is what I've been complaining about since BoxMac 1.
Yeah.
Which is, you got nice hot noodles, you've got a delicious cheese sauce. Eat it that way.
Yeah. Keep coming.
Oh God, oh God.
It's okay.
Oh God.
Okay, maybe it's not okay. Pull it back, pull it back. You can see that it's going inside those pipettes.
Yeah.
And that's actually taking up space in the pan.
It's amazing.
You could use that cheese sauce for all kinds of things. You could put a little less milk and make it a little thicker, use it with nachos, for example.
Nachos. Did the Cheetos go on top of this too?
Yes. The rest of that cheese sauce is for your enjoyment, Frankie.
Oh God.
Just fully integrating it. Here, and let's try.
Nina does not like to see innocent animals killed, therefore she will not have fun today.
I can resist.
Okay.
Oh my God. You got a problem, Frankie.
I don't.
Spread that cheese topping equally over the whole top of this.
I'm gonna have orange under my fingernails for weeks though.
People will be asking, Nina, did you relapse?
Are you no longer a vegan? Did you see any examples online at all of people that use Cheetos as the breadcrumb?
It reminds me of Fritos on top of chili.
And it's also gonna seal in just some of that flavor.
Which is why, well, breadcrumbs are there in theory to also seal in some of the moisture.
That's right, very heavy.
Nothing left in this.
Right in the center of that oven. I'm gonna set our kitchen timer for 20 minutes, and that's a little bit flexible. But now what we gotta do, Frankie,
start prepping the home
is
style.
start doing the home style. This was $2.99.
How does that compare to the price of all the ingredients involved in the one we're making?
Way cheaper. 3 packets in this mac. The breadcrumb topping, the seasoning mix, which is actually what's gonna make a roux for this, our cheese sauce. We need some salt for that pasta.
Right away.
It has a sauce packet, but it also requires butter. This is one of the only ones I've ever seen that does that. If you want, you can optionally put it in the oven. Should we do it?
I would vote for putting it in the oven.
To make things fair.
Yes.
But things aren't fair.
It goes in the oven for a mere 5 minutes.
All right, 5 minutes in the oven. I will compromise for Christmas.
We're gonna go all the way on the optional instructions, which says we need a 1/2 cup of shredded cheese.
Oh.
It looks elbow.
Elbow, yeah.
Zach, I've got some more cheese here. I'm just gonna have you grind up just a little bit of this cheese. This is an American cheese. They recommend here that you use a sharp cheese, but I don't have any more. Shh, don't tell the audience. Well, this is a very buttery kind of American cheese.
Oh, it's processed cheese, eh?
This is gonna work out perfectly because we've still got 12 minutes on our oven mac.
I thought you were gonna say, because we're gonna get to eat.
Frankie, come try this cheese, would you?
I think I prefer the Cabot.
This is a quality cheese that I get on clearance. It's a clearance cheese. Stop and Shop actually will throw out the ends of their deli meat and deli cheeses.
Oh, when they can't put them through the slicer?
Yeah, but Market Basket packages them up and sells them for a quarter price. So this was about $1.50 a pound for this cheese. Could I trouble you again to spray down this dish as well?
Pretty excited for yours, I gotta say. When I tasted it, delicious though it was, flavorful though it was, needed a little more heat.
We had cooled it way down by adding in all that cheese. And now we're gonna actually bring the temperature back up.
At what point did BoxMac turn into food porn?
I don't know.
People are gonna see that giant casserole full of creamy...
And they're gonna wanna go out and do this.
There's gonna be some reported suicides.
Because I like to cook things that's actual real food too.
Well, maybe people will wanna start to see you have a real cooking show.
That would be fun. I would like to do
That doesn't
a
have
cooking show.
Frankie Frayne in it.
Oh, that would, well, then what fun would that be?
There's no real cooking duos. Sometimes you have people on for short segments, but you don't have a show that's really dedicated with 2 people.
Right.
Well, you do have the Neelys. There was the Neelys
Oh, that's right,
show.
the Neelys. Just to give you an idea, Frankie, I research all kinds of things all the time. So I have a little bit of knowledge in every area. This week, I was researching some essential home construction concepts. So if I ever need to build a house from scratch, I have a basic understanding of how it's done. So somebody asked me, what size should I build my house walls? I could say, well, 2x4 is the traditional, but 2x6 would give you more room for insulation. 2x8, you could really do some fancy things with insulation if you wanted. See, that kind of stuff.
Well, as Mark Twain said, we're all ignorant just on different subjects.
That's right.
Except for John Hunt. He knows everything.
I don't know everything. I know this much about everything. You keep turning it down, I keep turning it up.
What?
You keep turning it down.
I only turned it down once, and you told me to.
No!
I'll throw that Homestyle Mac out and be public enemy number 1.
No! These noodles are still not ready. Can you smell the baking cheese coming out of the oven?
Can you smell what I smell?
Look at that top bubbling away. That is actually ready to go. I'm gonna give it just another minute in there.
Just another minute.
Hey, we're gonna have to eat the good Homestyle Mac first, Frankie. Nobody's gonna want to eat this other Mac afterwards.
But it looks a little brown on top.
That's the idea. You want a little bit of brown. It's not burnt. I promise.
I think it looks excellent. It looks different because it's
Cheetos.
The Cheetos, yeah.
Noodles. Pouring this over a sink full of misc dishes. Do not return macaroni to saucepan. Melt butter over in the same pan over medium heat. So this is exactly like what we were doing for our other Mac.
Well, this is how other people cook their other boxed Macs, and they're like telling you guys you're doing it.
Yeah, because you got nerds out there that are deciding to take a $2 box of macaroni and cheese
and overwork the direction.
Seasoning mix 1 here. And this is basically flour and pepper. We're just making a little roux. It's the same exact thing.
This is maybe one of the first times I've ever thought maybe you should just make your own.
I mean, it saves like a tiny bit of time.
Probably about $10 worth of dollars.
Yeah.
Who's excited to eat that right there?
So when does this shredded cheese go on the top?
That goes on once we get it into the pan. It looks just like, your basic Mac that's a little bit thin, and that's again by their design.
Yeah. It tastes great. It tastes like Velveeta.
Put our cheese on top there. This cheese is a little bit hard to work with. It really sticks together. Very fine breadcrumbs.
Just bread dust.
It's time.
It's Vader time.
Let's get some bowls here.
Oh my. Oh my.
Oh. Notice how the noodles have gotten a little bit bigger since they've been in the oven. That's what you really want. You want the noodles to actually
expand.
cook in the milk.
Happy Hanukkah, Marv. 1, 2, yum.
It's hot.
It is hot. It's very good.
It's very creamy.
It tastes to me a lot like it did before it went in the oven, plus Cheetos are on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
The Cheetos don't do anything for me.
Yeah.
Nope, they don't do anything for me either.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I think you need something. Maybe the breadcrumbs really would have done okay.
It's awesome. I'm gonna eat a lot more of it.
The shallots are very mild. I usually use just straight up onions, and yeah, they're way too strong.
They would have been too strong.
It tastes like onion and cheese.
Very unfair to the poor Kraft Homestyle. It has to follow this.
The next half an hour of BoxMac will be just us eating this quietly.
A camera passed out over onto the side,
All right,
rolling.
The sad Mac.
Here we are.
It might be good.
Honestly, it kind of looks like something my mom used to make.
That looks like a mom's thing. The breadcrumbs here aren't integrated very well.
They're not supposed to be.
Here we go. Well, one thing about Kraft, they know how to make that delicious cheese sauce.
They do. That cheese sauce is good.
I like this a lot.
It's good.
I'm not a fan.
Really?
It's very bland.
Are you kidding? I think it's really flavorful.
The breadcrumbs taste kind of strange.
It's tough to kind of put these side by side. I do like the Cheetos more than breadcrumbs, I think, on the Mac, but probably could have done without it completely. Maybe put a cheese finish on top and just had it go brown.
I love both of them. I'll eat both of them. Obviously, I prefer your incredible whatever the hell this is.
I definitely prefer yours. The Kraft Homestyle is okay.
I personally would not recommend the Homestyle one, even if you were just looking for a Mac.
Probably why it was discontinued.
So happy holidays, Merry Christmas.
Holidays, Merry Christmas.
Happy all the holidays.
That's right.
Got another year of weekly BoxMacs coming up. The 2-part Shut Up About Annie's episodes. So you finally get to know what we think about Annie's.
That's right.
We're gonna eat some Australian Macs.
Oh yeah.
Then we're gonna do some, you've sent in a ton of viewer submitted Macs. We're gonna do those.
Frankie, in the distant future, we're gonna look at UK Macs.
English Macs. And many, many more. So thanks for watching BoxMac.
Merry Christmas!
Merry Christmas.
Let's eat Mac.